All right, let's get into it. Today we're diving into two really fascinating stories about two families. Now, both of them had this grand plan to change everything. But here's the kicker. One of them failed, like spectacularly, and the other, a total success. So we're going to figure out what was that one crucial difference that separated them. I mean, just think about it for a second. Have you ever tried to get your family to, just change their ways a little bit? Yeah, we've all been there, right? It's tough. And that struggle is at the very heart of the two stories we're exploring today. Okay, here's our game plan. We're going to meet these two families, and we'll really dissect their strategies. Then we'll see exactly where one went so wrong and the other went so right. And at the end, we'll pull out the single biggest takeaway from it all. Let's do this. So at the center of this whole thing are two families, and each one is facing a very specific problem. They both thought, hey, a big, ambitious plan is the answer. But, as we're about to see, how you do something is every bit as important as what you're trying to do. First up, let's talk about Rahul's family. Their big mission? Get their son Rahul, who doesn't have a job, married to their new neighbor, Shalini. Now, Shalini is this independent, successful woman who runs her own popular cooking classes. The family looks at her and thinks, she's the perfect solution to all of Rahul's problems. Okay, so just look at this strategy. It's so methodical, right? Step 1, step 2, step 3. It's like a military campaign. But what's really going on here, psychologically? This isn't about building a real relationship. No, it's all about control. Every single one of these steps is designed to make Shalini feel like she owes them something. It's a trap built on guilt and obligation. And boy, did they execute this plan. The whole family got in on the act. They were just relentless, bringing food, running to the store for her, and they even dropped 10,000 rupees on her shopping trip. Can you imagine? Every single action was like a deposit into this bank of obligation that they were planning to cash in on later. So, after weeks and weeks of this charm offensive, the family is feeling pretty good about themselves. They've done everything by the book, right? They've been generous, helpful, you name it. The trap was perfectly set. It was finally time to spring it. And boom, just like that, the entire thing just completely falls apart. With one simple sentence, Shalini pulls the rug out from under their whole plan. She was never even an option. And the craziest part, the reason she let it all happen? She said their attention was just nicer than what she was getting from her actual future in-laws. Wow, what a twist. So, here's the thing. Their whole strategy was basically dead on arrival. It was built on this huge assumption that they could kind of pressure her into a decision. They never, not once, stopped to think about what she might want, or if she was even looking for someone in the first place. All right, let's switch gears and look at our second story, because this paints a totally different picture. Let's meet Manisha. She's a wife and a mom, and she is absolutely exhausted by her family's lifestyle. I'm talking everyone staying up until 3 in the morning watching TV, playing games, and leaving her to clean it all up before she has to wake up early for her son. Her breaking point comes from a really surprising place. Her little son, Johnny, sees her up late one night and just innocently calls her an owl. You know, like the animals he's learning about in school. And that simple little comment, it just hits her. It becomes the spark for her own grand plan to get her life back. Manisha's smart. She knows that just confronting them, nagging them, arguing, it's just not going to work. It's a losing battle. So she comes up with a whole new approach. Instead of trying to force her plan on them, she's going to find a way to make her goal the natural result of them getting what they want. Now, this is just pure genius. Seriously, look at what she did. She's not trying to invent new reasons for them to change. Nope, she's like a master detective. She figured out what each person already wanted more than anything else. Her mother-in-law loves gossip. Her brother-in-law is trying to impress a girl. Her husband, all about that ego. And she just connected her goal, going to bed early, to their goals. She basically made them all think it was their own brilliant idea. And the result? An absolute home run. The family completely and enthusiastically changed their entire routine. The house that was a chaotic mess until 3:30 in the morning was now dark and quiet by 10:30 p.m. And why did it work? Because every single one of them believed that this new schedule was their idea, helping them get what they wanted. Okay, so let's recap. We have one massive, spectacular failure and one incredible, life-changing success. Let's put these two strategies side by side to really get to the bottom of this. What was the winning formula here? And this, right here, is the absolute heart of it. The trap is all about self-interest.
It's about creating pressure and obligation. And honestly, it's a weak strategy because it just makes people want to push back. But the path, that's all about empathy. It's about focusing on what other people want. It doesn't create pressure, it creates desire. It makes people want to change, and that is 1,000,000 times more powerful.
So, after digging into these two wild family stories, what's the one big lesson we can walk away with about how you actually genuinely influence people in your life? And here it is. This is the biggest lesson. Any plan that's built on making people feel like they owe you something is fragile. It's going to break. But a change that's inspired by a person's own goals, their own dreams, that kind of change is strong, it's willing, and it's built to last. One is a trap, and the other is a shared journey. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. Who in your life could you influence? Not by setting a trap, but by taking the time to understand their goals and finding that common path with them. Something to chew on. Thanks for joining me.